Hi, my name is Ayan, and welcome to my YouTube channel. If this video makes it on YouTube, well, the reason I wanted to make this video was to just like share like some tips or like what I've learned, because well, it's currently May 2020, and I just finished my sophomore year of college. I will be a junior next year. I'm currently studying business. I'm not sure what route yet, but like, you know, they're playing it by ear. And I am planning on getting a certificate in criminal justice or legal studies, because, you know, I'm kind of rethinking a lot of things lately, like what I want to major in, and like whether I am on the right track, you know. There's like a battle between like following what I want to do and like following what will pay me some good money. I want to accomplish so many things, and I just want to like change the world for the better. Not the world, but like, you know, you have to start off small, like educate myself on like issues that I care about and like that I want to tackle, and then kind of like go on from there, like do even bigger things. And like I feel like I have this like drive in me to like really go out into the world and like promote change and bring about change, and like, I don't know, just like remove some of like the stigmas about like a black Muslim woman and what she can and can't do. And also I want to go into law, hopefully for graduate school. I don't know what law I want to go into, but I've been taking a few legal studies courses, and like they have really sparked my interest, and I'm like, well, which direction do I want to go into? Like, I don't know, but we'll see. Inshallah. If anyone's watching that doesn't have more questions about what the heck I'm doing and what I've been doing for the past 2 years, please comment them down below. So this video will just basically be about like what I've learned from my time at university or in college, and like how I have grown in these past like just 2 years. That's the intro, I guess. So let's just hop into it. One of the first lessons that I've learned, like being away from home and going to like university or like college, is that like independence comes with a lot of responsibility, especially like going straight from high school where like you were at home, like you ate like you cooked, like your mom cooked for you. I've always considered myself to be like a little independent, but this was just like, whoa, like I don't even have my dad to like come pick me up to like go places. Like I gotta find my way around campus. And like one thing that's different in college is that like you don't have like teachers that are like on you about like doing things, about going to class, about like getting your ish done. And like I think that was a little bit of a challenge, but I've always considered myself like driven and like self-directed. And so even in high school I would go above and beyond just to like study and like get like not procrastinate and like stay on top of it. One thing that I hate until this day is like feeling overwhelmed and feeling like I don't have control, and that I'm just like not gonna do well. And so in order to not feel anxious and like overwhelmed, I try to really stay on top of things. And I think in college, trying to balance work with school and classwork and having a social life, and like I don't know, it was just a lot to juggle. And sleep, that's the one thing I sacrificed my first year of college, because I was like, you know what, I want a social life, you know, and I want to like do good in like my classes, which I did kind of like average my first year, which I don't like blame myself for, because it was like a new environment. But I do regret like not really being on top of like my game, because I think that my GPA would be a lot better if like my first semester of college, I would have taken things like a little more serious. Like, I was serious, but I could have done a lot more to, like, I don't know, be on track. One thing that I learned, like, from the beginning, like people would say it and I'm like, okay, like, whatever, like, not whatever, but like, okay, like, maybe I'll come across that, but like, not really. Like, you cannot have all three, like, social life, sleep, and good grades. You cannot. Like, it's like you have to really balance it. Like, you cannot have more of one and expect to have, like, if I have like a really great social life, I cannot expect to get sleep and do well in classes. Like, you have to compromise. Like, and that's one thing that I definitely changed my habits from like my first year to my second year, is like literally like limiting my social life. And it came to a point where I was like not even hanging out with my friends. Like, all that mattered to me was just school and sleep. And that also was not like the best option also. Like, you can't just go into this like without like having a social life. I think like having friends that are really supportive, like, it can make it or break your college experience. And like, I don't know, like, well, I didn't like completely cut off everyone, like, or like step away from like my social life completely. I took a really like a great step back. Like, I would be at the library every day studying, even on the weekends. Like, I would like make excuses, like, I'm studying. Like, I was telling the truth, like, I'm studying, like, I can't go out, like, every single time. And I felt so bad. But one thing that I realized at the end of the day is like, I'm here for me. And it's like those my friends would understand. They did like understand, the people who I really care about. Like, they understand if like I'm not gonna be going out with them for one night. I had to really prioritize things like differently. And I think that is totally okay. And like, if you are currently like a sophomore or a freshman and you have gone through this, or like feel like you had to like compromise like your social life and sleep and like grades, then it's okay, because at the end of the day, you're here for you. And like, you're here to like better yourself and get a great education, and take advantage of this time to build those connections and do internships where you are networking and or whatever. And it's like, friends will come along. And I felt like I met people, new people this year who I just really connected with, because I worked with them. And like, I've created like these lifelong connections where if I ever like am looking for a reference or like a recommendation for a job, or like just having people that can connect you to other people that will really further your like academia or like just your career. Let me just sum it up. First tip is like, independence comes with a lot of responsibility. Balancing like sleep, grades, and like social life, it comes with a cost, and you have to compromise. First tip. Let's just go on to the second thing that I learned this year, or within like these last few years, is that it's okay not to be okay. Like, I know like that sounds kind of like, oh, like you see those sayings on Instagram and like Twitter or Snapchat or whatever, and there are like all these like mental health like kind of like quotes where it's like, it's okay not to be okay, or like every day every bad day comes with blah blah blah, whatever. But that's something that really resonated with me, and I think I like that's a saying that I think about a lot, because like there are times where I felt like I was super stressed, or like I felt like I didn't have control over like my life, or like having these fears like failure. Like, that's my biggest fear in life. And it's like, you have to realize that failure comes with a journey, and like failure is a part of like growing, and like you can only like do better from like falling down, you know? Like, it's okay to like be sad sometimes, because we're all hella stressed. And I don't know, sometimes like we need our alone time, or sometimes like having those friends to be there and just to like support us and to tell us that like I'm going through this too. And like I think that's something that definitely helped me, like just talking to like my friends and just being like, this is what I'm going through, and like realizing that like I'm not alone in this. When they tell me their stories and I'm like, really, like I've been going through that too. Like I didn't really thought on this like midterm, and it's been really eating away at me. You live and you learn, and like that's that lesson. Like I came to terms with a lot of things. Like one of like my biggest, not biggest, but like issues like going to like a predominantly like a white institute. I didn't realize that had like a huge effect on me, and like being a visibly like Muslim and black woman, and it's just like I didn't realize that had an effect on me. But I would like for me it's just like being hijabi, like my whole life, like I never really struggled with it until like I came here, and I'm just like, why am I questioning like my identity, like something that is so important to me and like means so much to me? Like how can I even question it? I've never like faced any like direct, like racism or like Islamophobia, but like you, like at some point, like you can't ignore the stares, and like you see yourself like in a 200-person like lecture, and you're like the only, or like one of the only like people of color, like, or black person, and you're just like you feel kind of out of place, and I've definitely like learned to like not let that bother me and like really assert myself no matter what, because like why should that affect me, not like why should it affect me, but like why should that like hold me back from like being great and like asking or like participating, like there would be times like, and I talked to like my friends who are like people of color, and they've gone through the same thing, and I was like, whoa, like I'm not alone in this. And it's like when you would be in like a lecture and like you're the only one sitting in the row, like, and no one is sitting by you, you're like what's wrong with me? Like you start questioning yourself, and I wish like there would have been like someone there to tell me like you're gonna face this and it's okay, because we all have faced this. Like yeah, like they talk about like, oh, this is predominantly white school, and it's like whatever, and I was like, okay, it can't be like that white. Like me coming from like a city like that is like very like urban, and I'm like, I come here and I'm like and like a lot of the times I like when I'm walking I'm just like I feel like I had to like have this like intimidating look on my face, because I'm like, I don't want anyone's words to like affect me, or like make me feel bad. Like I want to have like this stone cold RBF like resting bitch face and seem like I'm not really affected by your stares or like your words or whatever you would say to me, and yeah, just to all my like Muslimas or like my black girls, like for us, we really got it. Like we really like being black, a Muslim visibly, and being a woman, that's like, oh, you gotta like just overlook that and be like, yes, I'm these things, but they do not define me, they don't define what I can and cannot do, or what I can and cannot strive for. That's the gist of my video. I feel like I haven't like touched on every single bullet point, but I thought like these were the most important ones. Again, my name is Ayan. I hope you guys, or I hope whoever's watching this got something out of it, from a fellow black Muslim girl just going through life and learning about life as she goes through it.
نفس روحنا ودمنا قلبنا بيرتاح هوام للي فعلا زينا الكلام نفس الكلام حتى نفس الاهتمام عشرة مش ممكن تهون يوم من الأيام حتى لو